Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. In today's video, we'll be going through everything that is supposedly going to happen in the January transfer. The recent week/2 weeks, the reports have mentioned that Paris Saint-Germain will not make any signings or any loans unless they get rid of the two marquee players in Milan, Skriniar, so getting a defender instead of him, and Randal and getting an attacker instead of him. And in today's video, we'll take a look at the Skriniar-Randal situation and look at the potential replacements. Going into the first section, Galatasaray have contacted PSG for a loan move from Milan Skriniar. They're awaiting his final decision on which club he wants to join next. Milan Skriniar is getting close to the Galatasaray for PSG on loan until June 2025. The clubs are working to finalize the deal about the payment of salary, which will be paid in part by Paris. So what we can take away from this is Skriniar's situation is soon to be done. I think it's maybe a week until we are at the end of the situation when it comes to Milan Skriniar. All that has to happen is Paris Saint-Germain and Galatasaray sort out the final details. But it looks like Milan Skriniar will be heading to Galatasaray on a loan. We still don't know whether an option to buy an obligation will be there. That's something that Paris Saint-Germain really want to do. So I'm predicting an option to buy that could become an obligation if Skriniar plays, I don't know, 70% of the minutes or something like that. Next up, we have to move to Randal Just in Tottenham United, Juventus are actively exploring a deal to sign Randal on loan this January. All three clubs are considered top contenders to sign Muani. Spurs, United, and Juventus from David Ornstein. Spurs have been significant Randal to top priority this January. PSG wants an obligation to buy at the end of the season clause in the loan deal, and then Randal Juventus priority target. Continuous contact between the players and entourage and the Iran's plain club awaiting its final decision. So United really isn't the picture because from what I've read, United need to sell to get players. So two clubs for Randal is Juventus and it's Tottenham Hotspurs. But as Jacobs mentions, Paris Saint-Germain want an obligation at the end. The thing is, though, maybe Juventus and Spurs are not doing that, so potentially it could be a bit similar to Skriniar, where it's a loan with an option to buy. That could become an obligation if some requirements are met. But Randal looks to be heading to either Tottenham Hotspurs or Juventus, depending on what club wants him, and Skriniar will be going to Galatasaray. And I see Paris Saint-Germain paying 50% of the wage, and 50% of the wage is paid by the club that takes them. But now let's take a look at their potential replacement for Randal and Milan Skriniar. We obviously discussed yesterday that Hosanov and the Ukrainian centre-back from Bournemouth, Zabarny, are not going to be joining Paris Saint-Germain. So there are two centre-back names we could look at. The first one is Thomas Araujo. Paris Saint-Germain been linked with him ever since last summer. Luis Campos is a huge fan of Thomas Araujo, and he would suit how Paris Saint-Germain play football. I still don't know if it's feasible to do this in January because he recently extended with an 85 million release clause. So we take at least 50-60 million to get him out of Benfica. So maybe this is something Paris Saint-Germain wait with until the summer transfer window. The other name that could potentially happen is a player called Vitor Reyes. PSG and Madrid remain interested in Palmeiras defender Vitor Reyes. Exclusive Luis Campos take the name of the young Brazilian sensation Vitor Reyes. The young central defender is being tracked by many European big names, including Real Madrid. Internally, we're trying to separate from Milan Skriniar in order to take action. And as it said, as soon as Skriniar leaves, that's where we're going to get more reports about the potential centre-back. And obviously, what we did last January, we went through Brazilian market and got Beraldo and Moscardo, so we could go for Vitor Reyes from Palmeiras. But now to the most important thing, if Muani leaves, who will be his replacement? And these are the three candidates. No Vlahovic, no Gyökeres, no Osimhen. Lucho doesn't want any of those three because of their age and profile. And the other three names that are potentially available are John Duran, Christopher Nkunku, you can't see his face at the moment, and Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford, it's all about him and Nasser Khalifi, and what Nasser wants from Marcus Rashford is to make the first move. He wants Rashford to call Paris Saint-Germain and say, hello, I want to join the club, can you help me with that? Which still hasn't happened, so that's why we're waiting on Rashford. And Nkunku, it's a bit similar. He has to tell Chelsea that he wants to leave, but Paris Saint-Germain aren't like insanely interested, so maybe it could happen towards the end of January transfer window. And then obviously John Duran. The reports have stopped a bit regarding John Duran, but he's someone that could potentially join Paris Saint-Germain January transfer window. So those were the reports. Randal should be leaving to either Spurs or Juventus on a loan. Same with Skriniar to Galatasaray on a loan. And the replacement could potentially be Vitor Reyes for Milan Skriniar. And for the attacking spot, it's one of Nkunku, John Duran, and Marcus Rashford. That's been it from your boy PSG. And hopefully guys have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez Paris.